else for the reason that you're in South Carolina, because race is going to be a huge theme in this primary and the general election. And you held an event in South Carolina today to address race and inequality in our education system. You and I talked about that in the recent debate, and I just want to play that moment. Watch.
Our schools are as segregated today as they were 50 years ago. We need a conversation about what's happening now. And when there's a group of kids in this country that don't get preschool through no fault of their own, and another group does, equal is not equal. And we've got a group of K-12 schools that are good because families can spend $1 million, and you've got the Detroit public schools that are as segregated as they were. Equal is not equal.
You were the former superintendent of Denver schools. What needs to be done to fix the inequality?
We need to deal with the fact that we've got profound inequalities, and I think the federal government can play a very important role. But we also need to face facts, you know, and it goes along with what you were saying to Governor Kasich. I'm not trying to run down the country when I say this, but today I met with people in Clarendon County, South Carolina. There were people there whose parents filed a lawsuit 73 years ago, that became part of Brown versus Board of Education. Their parents' houses were burned down. They had to leave the county where their children were going to school. They got run out of the county, not just the county, out of the state for the rest of their lives. And 73 years later, the schools are as segregated as they were when their parents filed the county, filed the case. And they are as unfair as they were then. There are 16 high schools in this terribly named area called the Corridor of Shame, which, you know, it's a terrible name because it shouldn't reflect on the people that live there, and I hope that it doesn't. There are 16 high schools where not a single kid took an AP test this year.
Wow.
There's a school of 1,200 kids that's got 12 white kids in the school. And the inequities in funding in South Carolina can't be solved from Washington, but as a country, we have to take notice of the fact that if you're born poor in America, your chances of graduating with a college degree are roughly 9 in 100. And if you are lucky enough to graduate with a college degree and you're African American in this country, you still earn less than the average white high school graduate in this country. Well, so there are racial dimensions to this. Sorry.
No, go on. That's okay. Listen, I think it's an important issue. It's a very important issue, and I know you'll be talking about it on the campaign trail.